Hello, my name is Steve Page. I'm the Treated Manager for Business Development for Allweather Wood, and welcome to our webinar on treated wood preservatives. This presentation is copyrighted under Allweather Wood, LLC. Little history about Allweather Wood. We began operations in 1985 in Washougal, Washington. Throughout the years, we've grown and we now operate 5 wood preservation treated lumber manufacturing and distribution facilities located in California, Colorado, Oregon, and Washington. Our capabilities include high-speed end sizing, custom pre-staining, various preservatives, and third-party quality control inspection in accordance with AWPA industry standards. Allweather Wood now ranks as the largest waterborne preservative of treated lumber and plywood in the western United States. For more information on our company, you can visit allweatherwood.com for information including resources, SDS sheets, preservatives, preservative treated wood safety, usages, and a list of our stocking dealers. Presentation description. This would deal with applications where wood is exposed to moisture, insects, fungal organisms, and where preservative treated wood can help ensure the durability. By the time you completed this, you should have a better understanding of waterborne and oil-type preservatives, understand the conditions in which the 2 preservative types are approved for uses, and get answers to commonly asked questions. Waterborne preservatives. Waterborne preservatives are generally preservatives that are used for residential applications today. They are AWPA preservatives. And a listing of these would be ACQ, which is alkaline copper quat, ACZA, otherwise known as Chemonite, is ammoniacal copper zinc arsenate, CA copper azole, MCA micronized copper azole, and so forth. This also includes fire retardants. Waterborne preservatives, ACQ, alkaline copper quat. This preservative is a great preservative and it can be used in Douglas fir, hem fir, and southern yellow pine. It meets all AWPA standards and ICCES reports that are approved, and it meets standards UC1 through UC4C for above ground, ground contact, freshwater, and saltwater splash. ACZA. ACZA is a preservative today that's generally used in commercial applications. It's a great preservative for Douglas fir, and it works with southern yellow pine as well. It does meet all the AWPA approved standards. It also carries an ICCES approved designation. ACZA does meet all AWPA standards from UC1 through UC5B and C. It's for above ground, ground contact, freshwater, as well as saltwater immersion. Copper azole. Copper azole is what we generally use today out here in the West and pretty much throughout the United States. This designation includes Doug fir, hem fir, and southern yellow pine. It meets standards UC1 through UC4C, and it also carries the ICCES approved designation. It's for ground contact, above ground, freshwater contact, and saltwater splash. MCA is a newer formulation of copper azole. It's micronized copper azole, meaning finer particles of copper. Again, it's approved for Doug fir, hem fir, and southern yellow pine. It carries all the AWPA designations and does carry the ICCES approval. It meets standards UC1 through UC4C, again for above ground, ground contact, and freshwater contact. CCA. CCA preservative is a preservative that's been around since the 1940s. It's a great preservative and worked very, very well for all standards and still used today in many commercial applications. It's approved for Doug fir, although it's very difficult to penetrate Doug fir, so it doesn't work quite as well with Doug fir. It takes longer press times, works with hem fir, and works great with southern yellow pine. AWPA approved for all standards, again, through UC1 through UC5B and C for above ground, ground contact, freshwater, and saltwater immersion. Industry voluntarily modified through EPA the uses of CCA, and this happened in 2003. So in today's application, it's not readily available for residential applications. CCA is approved for industrial uses, highway construction, utility poles, pilings, and agricultural use. EPA does not recommend the removal of existing CCA structures. Other waterborne preservatives would be SBX, inorganic boron, otherwise known as borate. Doug fir, hem fir, and southern yellow pine are approved species. AWPA approved for UC1, UC2, and this follows under the formal AWPA standard C31, where its application is continually protected from liquid water. It's generally used for sill plate, interior framing applications such as studs and headers. PTI, it's another newer preservative. It's a carbon-based preservative. It's approved for species Doug fir, hem fir, and southern yellow pine. It carries AWPA designation as well as the ICC-ES approvals for above ground use only. It has a low impact on hardware and coatings. EL2 carbon-based preservative, again, approved for the three species, meets AWPA standards, carries the ICC-ES approval, again for above ground use only, low impact on hardware and coatings. Fire retardants. Actually, fire retardants are one of our fastest growing categories we have in preservatives today. Fire retardants will meet Doug fir, hem fir, and southern yellow pine species. They're AWPA approved, and they also carry, again, the ICC-ES approvals. They meet AWPA standards UCF A and B, that would be interior and exterior, as you can see. Fire retardant preservatives of treated wood may be used in above ground applications only and not in ground contact applications. Waterborne preservatives, care and maintenance. Like anything, care and maintenance determines the longevity and how a product's going to work over a period of time. So waterborne preservatives, treated products can be painted or stained. Always follow the manufacturer's recommendations, however, though. Water repellent coatings are recommended annually or as needed to keep up the appearance of the product. Oil-type preservatives. Oil-type preservatives are generally what we call industrial and commercial application preservatives. You won't see these generally used or shouldn't be specified in residential applications. The preservatives, these categories are creosote, which is the oldest preservative in the United States, pentachlorophenol, which is another oil-borne preservative, and copper naphthalate. Creosote, it's one of the first preservatives we used. It was generally done through railroad tie companies, utility poles, pilings, docks, guardrails, etc. It has been approved and mainly used for industrial applications through AWPA. It's for ground contact, freshwater, and saltwater immersion, and you'll generally see it used in heavy industrial applications. Pentachlorophenol, it's been used since the 1930s. It's a great preservative. It works very well for utility poles, cross arms, pilings, timbers, bridge decking, and guardrails. It's estimated that 80% of utility poles treated today are with pentachlorophenol. It meets all the AWPA approval standards for ground contact and freshwater. You'll generally see it used with glue lam and laminated beams as well. Copper naphthalate is one of the newer oil-borne preservatives. It's AWPA approved preservative for field treatments as well. Utility poles, cross arms, building poles, bridge timbers, etc., glue lams, and decking products. It works great for above ground, ground contact, and freshwater contact. However, this product is not listed by the EPA as a restricted use pesticide. So here's some common questions and some answers to those questions that pop up from time to time. What is the difference between waterborne and oil-type preservatives? Waterborne preservatives, as we discussed, are generally used in residential applications. Lumber treated with waterborne preservatives are typically sold through your local lumberyard and home improvement centers. Oil-borne preservatives are generally always used in industrial applications. Lumber treated with oil-type preservatives are not typically sold at local lumber yards or home improvement retailers. These products are highly specified and available through specialty dealers and distributors. Can I get a wood product that is both preservative and fire treated for ground contact use? And the answer to that is there are no combination preservative treated and fire retardant treated wood products that are approved under the AWPA standards. Per AWPA, use categories for ground contact and fire treated are to remain separate. It is best to determine which category fits what you want, whether that be ground contact or fire treated, and determine what is the most important factor of that project and specify a preservative for that use only. Fire retardant treated wood products may be used in above ground use applications only and not in use with ground contact. Thank you, and this concludes the Allweather Wood presentation on treated wood preservatives.